Hello there, and welcome to another My Little Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Bree. I'm here with my brother Bryson.
Hello.
My father Gary.
Hello.
And my mother Shelly.
Hi.
Today we're going to be talking about your comments from the weekly peak. But before we get into those comments, we thought there was
We
one
have comments
here.
before the comments.
We have comments before the comments.
Okay.
Rodney Wigner said, now this is on the 3D printed, the new 3D Prusa 3D printer that you did of an unboxing and first print of on Wednesday, which is we've been taking to call that video the midweek peak, the ones that come out on Wednesday. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, Rodney says, hey Bryson, curious to know how much 3D printers are these days and how expensive are the things and materials you have to continue to buy. I have a 13-year-old grandson who I think would love one, but my wife and I are on a fixed income. Thanks again for sharing your thoughts and videos, Rodney.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because like I don't have too many like 3D printers, so I'm not well rounded to answer the question of that. But I will say like there are, if you want to get like there are like ones that are like out there that are like $200 to $300 like as a kit, and they're really quite nice, and they're the riprap Prusas, which you can get online, and they're really quite nice ones too. And then they've got cheaper ones, like I think there's even $100 one out there, but I really don't know. I mean, people did reviews on them and they're like, well, it works, but like, or you can get really techie and get all of the pieces separately and put it all together.
Like you do.
Actually, the term is a riprap. You can actually go to the website and like get all the, if you're like really into the techness. But that can be a learning curve.
Well, how much are like the rolls of plastic that you get? How much do they average?
Well, I'd say about $25 to $20
for a whole roll.
For a roll, if you get really cheap ones, they're cheaper, but your print quality, I just don't even recommend them. Like your print quality goes out the window when you get cheaper plastic.
And then, how long does something like that last?
A roll of plastic lasts a surprisingly long time. It depends on what you're printing, but like you could print a lot of stuff. With
like, what do you say, like 50 items with a roll?
Probably close to, if not more, depending on the size of the item. But yeah, lasts a long time. I recommend to get a certain brand of plastic and stick with that brand of plastic as you print. You get used to the settings on your printer of what that plastic takes. And then if you start changing up plastics and stuff, certain brands, you'll have to kind of learn the settings, and it can be a little less, dialed in.
Gotcha. So, very cool. All right, so Mom, you had an insight on the flower that's in the kitchen there. Did you want to share?
I did. I was sitting in the family room, and I looked down the hall and I was looking at the flower that's in the kitchen, and I thought, to me that represents an idea in bloom, and 2 more buds of new ideas right behind it, so that we're always full of ideas. Isn't that kind of the hope? Is that we're always full of ideas? We have something that just bloomed, and then we got 2 more in the can coming down the pike,
waiting in the wings.
Yeah,
ready to bud.
Don't you think?
Bust force. I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
I came in to breakfast this morning, and you're like, Bree, the flower. It's an idea. It's like, yes, I love that. I love that thought.
It's the start of a new summer.
It's the start of a new
summer.
What?
Yeah, we're just leaving
only
summer.
have ideas
we're moving
in
into
summer.
fall right now.
Well, no one likes fall. It falls off the face of the
For
earth.
us, there is no fall. We just go from summer to
winter.
Less, less summer.
I was told we
cold
had
summer
2.
and warm summer.
Yeah, we just have a cold summer.
I'm sorry,
and a
did I
warm
just
summer.
take your line, Bree?
Well, no, I was going to say I thought we only had summer and fall. I thought those were the only 2.
I don't even know if you could consider.
We do have a winterish thing.
Well, because I don't think it's winter. It's probably
summer and winter. We don't do fall and
water can
spring.
freeze on a rare occasion, but it freezes, right? That's cold.
I mean, there's sometimes the leaves on the trees fall off when spring comes.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's when they fall off.
I think that happened
That
last
happens a
season.
lot too.
That's true. That does happen.
Hey, did we get any questions on intros and outros? Like, where's Azalea or anything like that?
Oh, every video, but I wasn't prepared for that. Did you have something
Well,
else you
yeah,
wanted to add?
I was just thinking that because, like, we come up with an idea that we want to do for a new intro. And so be looking for it. We're hoping that we get everyone together this week, but getting everyone together is not always an easy task. And then not only that, when you have everyone in the shot, who's filming?
Yes.
That's another issue. But we're going to do kind of a, if you've ever seen the show, what's the show? Heart of Dixie?
Yes.
We are going to steal their idea, or
no. We're inspired by them. There you go. You got to be careful with how these are phrased here.
Okay, inspired by them. Shay's going to be a part of here instead of having her house that's in the city. She wants to be part of the one here, which that makes sense. So we're going to swoop the camera around and land on us, and then we're going to swoop again, and we're going to land on Garen and Ellie's house, and Azalea will be in there. We're still going to keep the 2 outro ones that we have. But put that in and it's going to be real short, probably 5 to 10 seconds. You guys think something like that?
Something, yeah. You don't want anything too long.
Yeah, and we're going to try it with, Bryce is going to try to run the drone when we do it.
We'll see how that goes. I think we should be able to. I might even be able to set it automatically, so it just kind of does that automatically.
Pans around, yeah.
But
so
I don't really know. I've not played too much around with that.
My hope is that it will be in this Friday's video, but I don't know.
Mom keeps working every day. She's like, I got some weeds to pick, and all the stuff she wants to do. Like that.
Even though they won't be in the shot.
You won't notice if the weeds are there or not.
Yeah, but they'll be picked.
By golly, they'll be picked.
Well, he gets most of it, but he misses a few.
He's picky. He's selective about what he eats. He's like, I'm sorry, that's green, but I don't want it. Okay.
Yeah.
He kept sliding out into the front yard, and we couldn't figure out where it was. And you know how the bags go around on the bathroom that we're doing? There's a little hole there where the box is, where all the electronics are going to go for and I didn't even realize that was wide open, so he's just going out there, cruising around, coming back in.
I think all of us were having visions of him, just gracefully jumping over the bags like the dogs do. And it was just hard to imagine that pig,
Pigs do not
just jumping,
They do not
can't even look up, but he's jumping over the thing.
Pigs lift up what they want to go under. They don't jump.
Yeah, they go under.
Right.
You don't see a hopping pig around. Mm-hmm. Unless there's some sort of unless a kangaroo counts as a hopping pig.
No.
Or, another animal of some kind.
I don't think so. Okay, so, Phil G. Okay, wait, so let me paraphrase this, because I just go launching in. Okay, so on the Weekly Pig this Friday, Garen and Ellie, they stained the wood on the inside of their van that they've been doing for the,
conversion.
The stuff.
Yeah.
And they had to concoct a stain
solution?
because the one that they had picked was just black. Let's be
a science experiment.
It was really dark, huh?
They had to concoct a science experiment.
Yeah.
Yes, you would have been proud of them.
So there was research about mixing.
Sorry,
everything almost died. It's fine. Okay,
that's fine.
So Phil G said, if you use oil-based polyurethane, it will add a little bit of yellowish tint. That makes the color look warmer. Water-based is usually really clear, which is interesting. So depending on the type of polyurethane, you might be able to achieve.
I thought that was amazing how they went from that super dark stain, add that in, and I was clever. I would have never thought of that. I would have went down and got a different stain, or...
Yeah, I would have felt trapped with whatever I bought.
Well, they wanted that reddish.
Way to think
that reddish color that was in it.
Didn't they grab the little bit of reddish that they had and pour that into them?
They used the same stain. That was the red oak.
Okay.
And then I think they said, 12-1 was their ratio.
Okay.
Wow, interesting. It really turned out nice, I thought.
Yeah, they got that little, exactly what they were looking for, a little tint of that red.
It was really quite nice.
It is just beautiful. I thought it was just beautiful.
Just beautiful, yeah.
Okay. Now, we got started this week, or last week now. We got started on the Earthbag building again, which is pretty exciting. And there was a question here by Lord Faladar says...
Who's been with us,
forever. Yeah. I was wondering about the Earthbag walls and its proximity to the tub. Will they hold up in the long run, getting wet all the time?
That's you, Gare.
Oh Dad's like, yes, good question.
They will get wet. They will get wet all the time.
They will.
It rains. So we have
That's true.
no,
too.
I don't think, we're not big splashers in the tub. Maybe when Azalea gets in there or something, it'll get splashy. But
a lot of it's going to be caulked, though. I mean, we're going to have sealant on there.
plus, I'm planning on sloping that backside down to the tub. So like a little tile backsplash or something there too that might
It kind of just directs the water back in.
Gets the water back in.
I mean, we're going to have some cob or
It'll be stucco all through there, won't it?
Yes.
Stucco is not going to be an issue in the rain.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because it'll have
In the
stucco
wet.
on there, and then it'll be painted.
And we'll probably paint it.
so.
Are you going to paint it?
I think we're probably going to have to. I would rather do as little to it as possible because we don't want to have to maintain it.
Can we dye the
forever.
stucco? So the plan is?
We could.
Could it?
My
Dye
only
the
concern
stucco?
is that for all the stucco we've done, we don't like blend it really well. Like we don't look
What are
all
you talking
professional.
about, Mom? We're perfect.
So
Put
we
that
may
up
have
there
to
perfect.
paint
I have a thought.
It's a
I have a
patchwork.
thought.
Let's be real.
I have a thought. Maybe we make it a patchwork. Every batch we do, we change up the mixture so it's never the same. So you got darker and lighter patches just all on there.
I don't know.
I think
It
that
is an idea.
the paint.
It is an idea. It's an interesting idea.
What can we do with it, though? I mean,
interesting.
we shouldn't throw it out completely. But
No, I mean, it would be a way to.
Look kind of like a giraffe. No, I don't know. A giraffe wall.
It's not a bad idea. The thing is, though, with the paint, is it's another layer of protection that I think we may like.
for the water.
having.
We'll have to
And it's
paint
not a
it,
big
though.
deal. We'll paint it in a few years, and life will move on. It's not the end of the world.
We'll have to avoid the
Bree's
bottles.
right.
Well, he may be.
On the paint.
He probably remembers the times when bags got wet and walls were falling over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be much better protected with all the stucco and any kind of latex paint or whatever kind of paint we put on there.
We could either paint it everything, or we could go back to the stain idea. We wouldn't have to paint it if we could do it right.
Stain it?
Oh,
Is that what you mean? Well, I mean, that.
Stain the,
I wasn't thinking staining. I was thinking about staining before we put it on.
Yeah, but then every
Dyeing
batch
it.
has to be.
Exact precision.
Exact precision.
And we're not Gary
Let's
and
be
Ellie.
honest about exact precision in us. I mean, that would be really difficult for
We'd
us.
be like, okay, this is what will happen.
We were really
For the
lucky
first
on the
couple of
concrete
batches, we'd be pretty
countertops.
good. But then it's just like,
because it was you.
yeah, that's right. And actually, it was Gary and it was Ellie.
Because Ellie's the one that can.
Oh, it was Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie
Oh,
measured it out. She had a
yeah.
measuring cup, and she measured a certain amount of dye
Absolutely.
for each.
Yeah, because
And we did
thing
the same amount of scoops and everything.
We were
let's be real. For
extremely
us,
careful.
we'd be pretty good for like the first couple of batches, but then patience would completely just fall
Yeah.
over and be like, "You think that's
It
good?"
would be-
we would be asking each other, "Do you think that's good?"
It would be like you and
looks
nailing. Send it. Wait a minute. You still got a few more. You bent it.
Yeah, poor dad today. Where I'm making a laptop stand, and Dad's helping me out. I'm like, Dad, I need your help. I want to do these really fun cuts. He helps me design this really cool thing, and so he's got me tapping in these finish nails with a big hammer, okay, and it's a little nail. And this is the delicate piece that we're putting together. And I'm like, ka-chow, 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 ka-chow. There's nails flying everywhere. Things are bending. Dad's like, just hold it and tap it. It's really nice. But
When I looked over at him, he had those boards and he was holding on to them like this, going, "Get away from him. Take these away from Bree."
he's like, hey, Bree, why don't I do?
I'll do a
why don't I
few
do
of these.
this? I'll do these. And then I watched him and I'm like, okay, I can't have the patience. I finished up pretty good.
You
that
did
night.
good. You finished.
I was like, all right, he's being nice to me. I'll be nice back. So I was like,
It's like, send it. Tap, send.
I've always like, in ringing in my ears is you got to hammer. If you're gonna hammer, then hammer. That's what I was.
No, yeah. Send the nail in.
Just get it in the hole. But then
It's a finish nail.
it's a finish nail.
It's
So
fine.
maybe you should take a little.
Isn't
bit
there
more
the
time
finish?
with your
Don't we
life.
have a finished nail gun though?
Well, yeah, but then we would have set up everything. It was just easier for those half dozen nails.
This is why we need the shop, and we just plug it into the wall.
Thank you very much. And yes, you are correct.
in the future?
In
it
the
will be
future,
awesome.
I was thinking metal piping for that.
Yeah, we'll probably put in.
So there's
Galvanized.
no hoses. It's like galvanized metal piping that holds the air in for us.
Yeah, we'll probably have 3 or 4 air
I
stations.
wonder what pressure those can withstand up to.
Well, lots. 190 pounds or something, or better.
Probably for an air compressor, probably could do it well.
Something like that.
I'm sorry, we're going off on a tangent.
Hey, you know what's really cool is Tessa DeVault.
Yeah?
Comment.
Oh,
and Tessa said, this was to our comment, we were wondering how the paint might fade in the bottles over time.
Oh, yeah.
And this a couple other people also said this too. Tessa said, normally UV light doesn't penetrate glass, so that shouldn't influence the colors much, if at all.
Wow.
I really hope that's the case, because I feel like the desert sun defies all logic.
Now, I have to.
But I hope that's true.
I bring up another thing on that, because this is the interesting thing. Doesn't eventually paint cracks and brittleizes because it heats up and
brittleizes.
This is a good
He
word.
has great words.
Sorry, turns brittle.
I mean, I've never thought of that concept before, but it is that a verb?
I like it.
Brittleize.
Well, noun would be brittle. Brittleize.
So the question is, if you eat a piece of peanut brittle, are you brittleizing the peanut butter? As you chew it to eat it,
or just making the concept of brittleizing.
I think brittleizing needs to be a thing.
This is cool.
So, but isn't it the heat and cold and heat and cold and heat and cold and heat and cold and heat and cold that causes it to just eventually dry out and
breaks down the structure?
I have no idea, but I was really hoping the fact that it would be inside, even if it cracked, you wouldn't rub against it, would flake it off. So my thought is to put it inside the bottle had the best chance of success.
We're going to be staring at it, and it's going to have this crack inside there, and we're going to want to touch it, but we can't because it's stuck in the bottle.
Yeah, that's why it's perfect.
That's when I'm 100 years old and it's somebody else's problem.
Okay, so Emily Barber had a fantastic idea. Glow in the dark paint inside the bottles. She said.
To kind of light up the shower area.
Yeah. It's like, who needs light? We put glow in the dark paint inside the thing.
Oh. Actually, you know what you do? It might be a little nuclear, but you know the nuclear radioactive green glowy glow sticks?
Yes.
You can get? We bury those inside each one of the bottles, surrounded by dirt, so it'd be fine. Bury it in those bottles, and then there's a constant glow at night, green glow that lights up the shower.
That's chemical, though, isn't it?
I have a small.
No. I'm talking about the radioactive kind.
But what happens if
they don't stop glowing for a very long time?
I'm going to pass on radioactive. Yeah. Just the term is scaring me.
We're sitting in the bathtub. Get out of the bathtub. Walk into the house. Dad's glowing.
Or those isn't it with those light bulbs where if you break it, it's like the end of the world because it's
the mercury ones.
Seep out. It'd be so awful if you cracked one of those bottles and you got radioactive juice dripping out. It'd be like,
It'd be very bad. But I was thinking inside the glass, surrounded by dirt, there's only one spot it could penetrate, maybe through the glass, and it wouldn't really. You'd be
act like a laser.
Bryson, you bring up a good point, though. We have those wavy lines. That would be super cool to be running some LEDs. Maybe not inside them that we can't get to them, but outside them, and then they would bounce off of the.
Like maybe on one side, like the inside of it.
Would that be fun?
The fairy kind where you hardly see them? You just do that so it hits in, you put it on the bottle. So when it lights up, it kind of ricochets in the bottle a little bit.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be fun art.
That would be really
Now, there were some questions about consideration of light going through these bottles. I'm sorry.
So this was a recommendation from Kai Cliff, who said you can also get glass spray paint that tints the glass without taking away the opacity. Loving the look. We had a lot of opacity and glow in the dark.
Interesting.
Right, and I wasn't really going for light going through these. First of all, we don't want them see-through around the tub area for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But there are areas around the fence and around both the edges of the fence that I'm not going to mind, seeing through them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to bottles, if you've done these buildings before, you know that bottle lights don't really bring in a little to no light. They don't really.
The
term light isn't there really isn't any light that comes through them.
A little bit, but not much.
Yeah. Now, when we do the wave, it'll be 3 deep, 9 deep, 3 high, and it'll be waving, and then we'll get some light through that, I think. And then if we added the lights to it too, I think that would be really super cool.
Yeah, for sure.
We've actually done a kind of an experiment where we had a glass vase on the Muse Art Studio where it was kind of down lower, and then we made this reflective box to try to get light to reflect in and light in. And it kind of works. There is light that kind of comes through it, but it's nothing like a window.
It wouldn't be like
or
flipping a switch on nothing.
Yeah, I mean, we've got bottle lights around the entire studio, and I don't know that they bring in any light. Would you say? No. I mean, they really.
No, you can see daylight outside sometimes, but it's not like.
Yeah, they're more just decorative more than anything.
They look cool in the wall, but they're not a skylight.
Yeah,
skylight or window or something.
Now, if you do want the paint to show through the bottle, though, or did I say that right? The paint to not cover up the light in the bottle. Mm-hmm. Okay. Kathy Parton said, I know you're too far along to change any the coloring methods, but alcohol inks would be perfect. You can make your own and baking it to make it stable, which was an interesting thought, I thought.
Wow,
Kathy
that is interesting. Clever.
Ashley Hoyt said, if you get some bottles for the light to shine through, take Elmer's glue and paint and mix the paint in jars. It makes it look frosted.
Oh.
Which is kind of a cool idea, I thought.
Interesting.
Wow.
So I think those are all the ones. There were so many wonderful ideas on just like different ways to paint those bottles. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
They're really kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's something to definitely consider, especially maybe not in this project because
probably not. We're pretty set on what we're doing.
But it I like that, to be able to get some light that still kind of comes through it. It's a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I kind of think that we may be able to see light through these because we didn't do it really thick. Like I think if you and the colors that we chose are light, so I feel like if you shone a light through it, I think you could see it.
Probably too. And I was trying not to spray too thick, but I noticed that as the day went on, I was pushing.
You got more serious.
Do you still have paint in your fingernails?
It was so cool. I painted so much here and then when I washed my hands, my fingernails still stayed completely that purple color, and it looked like I had painted my 2 nails.
Yeah,
it did.
I felt kind of girly for a moment.
You're like, I'm only like a little bit girly, like 2/5 girly on this hand, but it's still girly.
No,
and then
we
went out. It was like your mom's birthday, and so we met for going out for dinner, and we're on the way to the restaurant. And I'm trying to
peel it off.
I'm trying to peel off because I got only 2 nails, and I thought, oh goodness, I don't want to be in the restaurant with them.
You should have just got nail polish and did all of them.
Yeah, I could have. But it actually would have worked good for a nail polish, except the fact that it gets all over your whole hand. But the other stuff washed off really easy. Okay.
Well, there you go.
There's an alternative.
You can't get it nice. Just spray your entire hand and wash them.
There's probably some side effect that your nails will start cracking and drying out because of the paint.
Okay, so we almost, not quite, did what we did accidentally to Bryson last week, and that was Dad was really not in this video this week.
I know. I realized that later.
Somebody edited me out.
No.
I was filmed doing things all week.
We chose to. That's another section for next week. That was the problem.
I did interviews.
I know you did.
I did all kinds of
stuff. And then we pulled that whole section because we thought we had so much video. We had 25 minutes, and then we edited it, and we had 17.
It's a bad call.
I mean, we had 25 edited minutes.
Sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just
re-edited.
Okay. Mom she went it was so much better. When Mom goes through it really is a lot better.
Hacking.
She'll take a 20-minute clip and she'll hack it down to 1 to 2 minutes, and it's beautiful.
She's amazing. It'll know.
She can tell a story
that's happened.
It'll look great when it's done, but there won't be much of it.
Because if you really actually saw all the unedited footage, you would be bored out of your mind.
Oh.
There'd be just way too much.
I know it looks like it went up in 20 minutes, but it took us 2 days of work.
So we actually should have probably kept that section that you did, but we'll put it in next week. You know who else was missing, except she made it in the outtakes? But Azalea was missing.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was really kind of a little bummer.
Yeah, it's okay.
I like to see her in there.
It's just getting us all in a video is just.
I guess we can't worry about that.
No,
it's too hard.
Gotta do our thing.
Yeah.
We have too many people.
Yeah.
To have to fit into one 25-minute show.
Well, I think that is going to wrap it up for us this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going to be back again on Wednesday for something. I'm not sure. We filmed quite a bit of Wednesday video-ish stuff today, so I'm not sure what's going on Wednesday. It'll be whatever strikes our fancy in the editing room.
It could be approximately 3 to 4 things.
Casually. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you on Wednesday for that midweek peak and Friday for the weekly peak show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.